So today we are pleased to welcome our guest speakers, Dr. Lloyd H. Michael and his wife, Dr. Barbara Ann Smith Michael, back to Keystone College. I emphasize back because Lloyd and Barbara are proud members of Keystone's class of 1962. You mean wow? Who said that? You'll see in 40 years. After visiting with Lloyd and Barbara last night, I know they have fond memories of Keystone and are appreciative of the role Keystone has played in their respective careers. I also know they are grateful for the role Keystone has played in their personal lives since they met on campus. We won't go into those details, right? No, okay. A graduate of Mountain View High School, Dr. Lloyd Michael recently retired from Baylor College of Medicine after 40 years of cardiovascular research and teaching, including 20 years as Dean of the Medical School's Admissions Department. Currently, he holds the title of Distinguished Professor Emeritus, Department of Medicine, with joint appointments in the Departments of Surgery and Molecular Physiology and Biophysics, and past Senior Associate Dean in the Office of Medical School Admissions. Dr. Michael received his undergraduate education at Keystone and then Moravian College. He has a master's degree of science from Kent State and a doctorate from the University of Ottawa School of Medicine. He completed his postdoctoral studies in immunology and myocardial biology at Columbia College of Physicians and Surgeons and Baylor College of Medicine. Dr. Barbara Ann Smith Michaels has more than 45 years of experience in medical research and education in the United States, Canada, and Tanzania. She's currently assistant professor in the School of Allied Health Sciences at Baylor College in Medicine. Must make for some interesting lunch conversations, I guess. And senior advisor of continuing medical education, regulatory affairs, and compliance for Baylor's Center for Collaborative and Interactive Technologies. And before coming to Baylor, she was a faculty member at the School of Allied Health Services at the University of Texas Health Science Center in Houston. After graduating from Montrose High School and Keystone Junior College, Dr. Michael completed her bachelor's degree in biology at St. Lawrence University and earned a bachelor's degree in medical technology at the University of Texas Health Science Center. And while working full-time and being a mom, she earned a master's degree in healthcare administration from Texas Women's University and a doctor of jurisprudence from South Texas College of Law. She has extensive experience in continuing education for allied health professionals and was a contributor to 2 award-winning textbooks. So Dr. Lloyd and Dr. Barbara Ann Michael reside in Texas and are former residents of Susquehanna County. They recently established an endowed scholarship at Keystone, for which we are extremely grateful. Once again, it's truly a great honor to welcome Drs. Lloyd and Barbara Ann Smith Michael back to Keystone for our 144th annual commencement.
Well, I guess I better start out with the word wow. This whole exciting time in our lives, and we would like to really share it with you. Graduates, your extended family of supporters, and by supporters I mean they could be financial, they could be emotional, you plug yourself in, supporters. Members of the Keystone College community, distinguished guests. It's an honor for Lloyd and me to participate in Keystone College's 144th commencement ceremonies. We consider this one of the capstone events in our lives. When Lloyd and I received the invitation to speak from President Coppola, it was an oh my moment, an unexpected team assignment. After serious discussion and some trepidation, and I must say that was ratcheted up when we found out it was at Mount Montage, we made a mutual decision to accept the challenge, the opportunity, and the responsibility. I suspect that many of you had an oh my moment when the commencement details were released. Who are these high-profile speakers? How long will the 2-speaker address last? Based on our own graduation experiences, Lloyd and I understand that everyone is anxious to get on with the after graduation celebration. Let's begin. All of us here today have commonalities, a Keystone connection, as well as challenges, opportunities, and dreams that impact our professional and personal lives. My Keystone connection began in the fall of 1960. I was one of approximately 100 freshmen in the class of 1962. Dr. Harry Miller, who recently had been inaugurated as president of Keystone Junior College, was an honorary member of our class. The leadership opportunities and educational experiences that I had at Keystone, as well as the support of faculty and administration, helped me acquire the critical thinking skills and educational foundation required for career development and lifelong learning. But of greatest importance to me, Keystone was the beginning of a lifelong relationship with a classmate. We were both 17. He was a day hop. I was a boarder. We were science majors. I noticed him in the 8 a.m. chemistry class. He grew up in a rural environment. I grew up in an urban. He's an outdoors person. I'm an indoors person, actually a bookworm. And we both are strong-willed and had to learn to negotiate and compromise. During our 50-year-plus life adventure, I never envisioned that we would live, study, travel, and work outside of the United States. 4 years in Canada and 2 years in Tanzania, East Africa. We would, while in Tanzania, complete a 5-day, 80-mile round-trip trek to Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest mountain in Africa. While our daughter, aged 7, and I waited in a hut, incidentally shivering at 15,000 feet, Lloyd reached the peak, 19,341 feet. My achievement was surviving the experiment with only minor damage, a headache, sunburn, and loss of several toenails. Little did I realize that we would move to Houston, Texas, study and work at institutions in the Texas Medical Center, the largest medical center in the world. Little did I realize we would become grandparents to 2 lovely granddaughters. I never envisioned that I would, after the age 50, earn a Doctor of Jurisprudence and pass the Texas State Bar examination. Frankly, I don't like domestic work. Studying is easier, more rewarding, at least for me. I never envisioned I would have an opportunity to participate in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice's Victim Offender Mediation Dialogue Program and work with a victim whose father had been murdered and the convicted murderer, and then coordinate a face-to-face meeting of the victim and the offender at the correctional institution. I never dreamed I would have a faculty appointment where I use my education and experience in the allied health sciences, healthcare administration, and law. I never thought I would achieve bionic woman status. So far, I have been the recipient of corneal transplants from 2 anonymous donors, and thanks to advances in medical technology, a hip replacement, and intraocular lens implants. I'm also a cancer survivor. I'm also a healthcare provider's nightmare. I'm usually not in the best outcome groups. My significant other would now like to share a few insights learned on our journey together, but But as an attorney, I always throw in a disclaimer. I'm not certain what he's up to.
My partner at the lectern next door suggested this was a team assignment. Well, when you deal with an attorney, they always have to be having the first presentation, the last argument. So Barbara is doing the presentation, starting and ending. Is probably the usual way we carry on things in life. So I heard a wow about 50-some years. These people are coming back here. They can still walk. Well, sort of. I must tell you that 55 years ago, what I'm wearing on my head is what I wore. It's a beanie. The first week of orientation at Keystone College, this is what you wore. Getting oriented by the upperclassmen. So I thought, I'll wear this and we'll talk about Keystone. So in the first month or so, 55 years ago, this coming September, on campus, I couldn't help noticing a cute, attractive, a person involved in almost everything on campus. She seemed to be just dynamic, and she was a science major like me. In fact, she was in most of my classes, and in fact, she was one of those gunners that you love to hate. She always got the A+, and so I thought about this because someone had told me, you know, I think she might be interested in you. I said, interested in me? Well, it was sort of a no-brainer, don't you think? This cute, attractive female co-ed in most of my science classes, and me sort of being a B student, that I wouldn't say, that would be a great mentorship. If I could interact with her a lot, I ought to be able to improve. So 55 years ago, she became a study partner of mine. And since I knew in the next year, there were several biology courses, including a really tough comparative anatomy course. So I said to myself, hey, what better partner to study comparative anatomy with next year? So Barbara and I started a relationship, as she noted. We are still comparing notes in the 52nd year of marriage. Obviously, I knew that I loved her and would never let her go. But what I want to do now is turn to a current, fairly popular song, at least to me. I listen to some of this popular music every once in a while. And there is a song by Passenger entitled, Let Her Go. You only know you love her when you let her go. So obviously, I never got to that point because I kept her. But what I wanted to do is just read a few lyrics from you because I think they're meaningful. And it goes something like this. You only need the light when it's burning low. You only need the sun when it starts to snow. That's probably pretty common in Keystone, I guess. You only know you're high when you're feeling low. And the last lyric is, hoping one day you'll make a dream last, but dreams come slow, and they go so fast. First of all, the first three verses suggest that we often do not realize something very important in our lives until it's gone. And so, a caution to everybody to think about what you might lose as you go through life. Reflecting especially on the latter lyric, on dreams coming slow and going fast. Each of you had the opportunity to attend Keystone College with a dream. It could have been a goal, a plan, imagination. It was an opportunity that this graduation day right here would ultimately come, and indeed the dream came slow. You know, years of tiring studies, exams, stressful times, and so on and so on. But you know, the dream is about to end because reality is now. The dream is now gone fast in a few minutes. So, the burning question becomes, what will you realize as the next opportunity to spark the next dream, and the next, and the next? Only with dreams built on available opportunities will life unfold along your own special path. Having a long-range dream, a vision, is a plus, but Barbara and I have always had some short-term, you might call them realistic dreams, based on available opportunities to refocus our lives regularly. Of course, in my case, given my 5'3" status, deficiency in height, I knew at one point in my life that becoming a basketball star was pretty unreasonable. So, get rid of those things that really are unrealistic dreams. Focus on opportunities. This did not stop me, though, from becoming a member of the varsity baseball team, second base, and a member of the wrestling squad, would you believe, 123-pound class. So, thinking of my own life, starting first grade at the village of South Gibson, a 2-room, 2-story schoolhouse with outside bathrooms, then nearing the end of secondary schooling, I realized that there was a place called Keystone just down the road. And seizing this opportunity, I drove the 34 miles, became a Keystone student without the faintest imagination of the life to unfold. The first in the family to climb the steps to higher education, and then a life filled with excitement, as Barbara noted, living and working in different cultures around the world, interfacing with eager students from all walks of life, collaborating, publishing with the best minds in medical research and education. Unimaginable opportunities and dreams for a farm boy, first generation college student, starting at Keystone 55 years ago. Hopefully, you will also continue to greet each new opportunity and dream in your life with a never-ending perseverance, in spite of potential discouragement, the valleys and lows along the way in life. A favorite quote of mine is from Henry Wadsworth Longfellow: "Perseverance is a great element of success. If you only knock long enough and loud enough at the gate, you are sure to wake up somebody." Barbara and I feel that one should, number one, make a realistic next dream. 2, look for opportunities. Many times we realize that the next dream was preceded by an opportunity. Don't shy from challenges. Never. Always be willing to do more than the minimum, striving to excellence. You are not alone in the world. That might seem self-evident, but you have a purpose. You have an obligation, a graduate of Keystone College, as far as I'm concerned, to do well with others. Always look beyond yourself so that what you accomplish in life will last and benefit those who follow. Just a few comments about a favorite Latin word of mine, equanimitas. Sounds ominous. This word, meaning calm mind, calm soul, having a nature of imperturbability in Latin, the English equivalent is equanimity. This is a concept emphasized by Sir William Osler in a book by that name that he wrote in 1906. Osler was one of the 4 founding fathers of Johns Hopkins University Medical School, considered the father of our hospital-based physician residency programs. Essentially, the concept is characterized by calmness amid a storm, clearness of judgment in a crisis, presence of mind under all circumstances. In addition, it fosters a bit more gentleness in dealing with the imperfections in ourselves, as well as in others, and not being too disturbed by fragments of the truth along the way. Osler noted that some future physicians, students, already had some equanimity. Some would need to work very hard at achieving the trait, and some may never achieve it. In my career teaching and mentoring future biomedical research scientists and physicians, I have tried to instill this importance of this trait and found it in my own life very valuable in the life of Barbara and I. Easily perturbed people generally are indecisive or make wrong decisions, are easily flustered by the ordinary emergencies of life. Equanimity fosters control in our easily chaotic world by taking a deep breath, deciding how much stress one should allow with each annoying event in life, and of course, all you have to do is get in your car and drive away from here for a few miles. I'm sure somebody will probably irritate you. You need to do equanimity. In my own case, I had 2 torn ligaments in my left shoulder, which need an arthroscopic surgery this coming Friday. I got really annoyed. I've tried to get over it. It still is annoying, but we're working on equanimity with this shoulder tear. Barbara and I attempt to practice equanimity with lots of failures, but success has been enhanced by a few things. Secure anchors, we call them, touchstones, handholds, keystones. That is, place things in perspective, such as our deep love to each other and family, our abiding spiritual beliefs, our joint accomplishments such as our wilderness retreat in Canada, started 46 years ago, and our tree farm nature retreat in Texas. For our joint dedication to continue the lifelong learning sparked here at Keystone. These and many more anchors promote equanimity in our lives, putting events into perspective and giving us confidence to help overcome the inevitable valleys and low points as you proceed through life. You also may find this concept useful in your personal life.
Graduates, today is a momentous life event, one that signifies a parting of ways, major changes, an uncertain future with challenges, but also opportunities that spark dreams. We would like to conclude with words for you to reflect on as you begin this next chapter in your journey. The first is a quote from a book entitled, "I Am a Woman, I Am Invincible, I Am Tired," that we gave to our daughter, who's frequently stressed trying to balance demands of her career and her personal life as a wife and mother. Think deeply, speak gently, love much, laugh aloud, work hard, give freely, and be kind. The second is the motto of the Lend a Hand Society that was founded in the late 1800s by Dr. Edward Hale, author, historian, and clergyman. Look up and not down. Look forward and not back. Look out and not in. And lend a hand. Most college graduates will never make Time magazine's annual list of the 100 most influential people in the world. However, every one of you can make a difference in your community and personal spheres of influence in your own unique way. Pursue your dreams and opportunities. Cultivate equanimity. Secure your life with firm anchors. And don't forget, your Keystone connection is for life.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. We were supposed to say that simultaneously, but I got mixed up in my directions.
Thank you very much for having us.